I have so many new drugstore makeup products to test out. I feel like brands are launching their 2026 collections kind of early. Normally we see them in like December, even end of November, but some brands have launched their collections like end of October. So I wanted to try a lot of these products on for the first time, share my first impressions, just kind of hang out and do my makeup, and make sure to come back to my channel in a couple of weeks because I will share really thorough reviews letting you know which products I recommend, the pros and the cons. But today's video is more so just like a let's sit down, hang out, do our makeup together kind of thing. Okay, so I do have a sunscreen on my skin right now and then this product on my lips. I applied it earlier today. I just got this in the mail. I should have used it last night, but I'll use it tonight and then I'll pin a comment with an update letting you know what I think. It's from Covergirl. The packaging is so cute. It is their new Jammy lip sleeping mask. I feel like this could be a really fun stocking stuffer if you have someone you know that would be interested in trying this. This is probably the thickest, stickiest lip treatment I've ever tried. So that might be a deal breaker for you if you are automatically like, no, I'm not into sticky products. But because it is so thick and so sticky, I feel like if I use it tonight before bed, when I wake up tomorrow morning, like the product will still be on my lips. Again, check the comments because I'll keep you posted on that. But I like the scent of this. It has kind of like a sweet lavender scent. Initially, when I applied it, it did taste a little bit like perfume. But now that I've had it on for a few hours, I can't taste that any longer. Again, I don't think this is something that I'll typically use during the day. Maybe if I'm just like sitting at my computer editing, but because again, it is a very sticky product, I don't know that I'll love it for everyday use. But this is what the packaging looks like. Just be careful when you twist it because a lot of product does come up. You know how with these products, when you initially start twisting them, it takes a little while for it to kind of pop up. I probably twisted one too many times because there was a lot left over. But it feels, my lips feel amazing. Like they feel really moisturized and my lips have been kind of dry lately. So I'm excited to keep using this product. Just thought I would mention it because I did have it on my lips at the start of the video. So Covergirl also came out with these new lip balms, them and every other drugstore brand at this point. These are a little bit more expensive than some of the other, you know, Summer Fridays-esque inspired lip balms out there. At Ulta, they're $11.99. I think it's the same price at Walmart and on Amazon, but there are 5 different shades. I did grab 2 of them, so I picked up Fresh Plum and then also Raspberry Twist. I think what's nice about the, you know, drugstore options is that they seem to be launching some more vibrant shades. Like Summer Fridays, they were kind of, I don't know if they were like the OG brand to do something like this. I feel like they were. I mean, it's a lip balm. It's not that innovative, but as far as like the packaging, the thin glossy formula, but a lot of the Summer Fridays ones don't have a ton of pigment. So if you are looking for something a little bit more vibrant, you might be interested in trying like one of the alternatives out there. And then this one is the raspberry, which is pretty sheer, pretty soft. I mean, just my very initial first impressions, I really do feel like this is a spot on dupe for Summer Fridays. The other alternatives that I like are ColourPop. What's the one I just recently tried? Hard Candy. These feel kind of similar to Hard Candy, and Hard Candy is even less expensive. The e.l.f. ones are kind of close, but these really do feel just like Summer Fridays. So I'll keep you posted if these actually moisturize the lips or if they wear off super quickly. But initially, I think it feels good. Essence launched a couple of new products. I feel like we're going to see more from them over like the next month or two. But right now, there are a couple of new complexion products that I picked up. So this one sounds very, very interesting. It's their new Jelly Grip Refreshing Aloe Spray. So you can use this a couple of different ways. You can use it to prep the skin, set your makeup, or refresh your skin throughout the day. They say it's a gel to spray, which let me just spray it on the back of my hand because I feel like that could be just interesting. Oh no, it comes out just like a spray. And then, oh, on the hand, it really does kind of have like I was gonna say like a gel-like texture, but it blends right in. I was just thinking like if I spray that on my face and it doesn't come out evenly, it might not, oh, it blends in and feels really nice on the skin. Wow, that is super lightweight and I automatically feel like my skin is moisturized. I gotta be honest, initially I was like, is that going to be a gimmicky product? But I feel like this could be a really nice option for winter if you're dealing with dryness, if your skin tends to be red like mine, because it is supposed to be very hydrating, but also soothing. I thought one of the claims was that it's supposed to be, yeah, soothing because of the aloe vera. It's also supposed to deliver instant hydration, glow, and makeup grip. Oh yeah, it is lightly gripping. Maybe they meant for this to be a dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Set and Refresh, although the texture is different. This is really nice. I'm so curious to keep using this. I like it so far. I do feel like this could actually just work really great as a primer on its own because it does have like that slightly tacky feel, but you can see the difference in my skin. Again, I do have like a glowy sunscreen underneath, but my skin wasn't quite this glowy before. Like if it looks good, it looks nice and hydrated, refreshed. Okay, I think this could potentially be one of my favorite new launches. Now I'm trying to decide if I should use this product on top. It's their new Bouncy Plump Smoothing Primer. It's supposed to be hydrating and plumping. Oh, interesting texture. Okay, it kind of has like, it looked like it was a whipped texture when I put it on the back of my hand. It feels nice. Oh, this one is the scent is much stronger. It smells a little bit like watermelon, but it also has like this fresh kind of scent to it as well. So interesting. My hand doesn't look like extra glowy or anything like that. It almost dried to like, not a matte finish, but it doesn't look any different. So I would say if you're looking for your skin to have like that glowy finish, this probably isn't going to do it for you, but it does feel smooth. It feels hydrated. I know they have like the Jelly Grip Primer, which I love. The watermelon one I did like. I think I'm going to put this on half of my skin. I'll put it on this side. I like the watermelon one, but it did cause my skin to break out. So this might be ideal if you want like the hydrating factor, but you don't like the sticky gripping feel. I love a good sticky gripping tacky primer, but I know it's not for everyone. So if you want like the hydration without the sticky factor, this could be a good option. So you can tell like my skin, it doesn't give it like that super glowy effect. I don't want to say it mattifies my skin, but it almost like dims down any glow that I had going on. I feel like the texture of this is very, I was going to say interesting, but it's kind of strange, honestly. Like there's a little bit of like a gritty feel to it when I was kind of blending it in. So we'll see. I'm going to go in with what's the next step? Foundation. Actually, one more thing before foundation. This is also new from Essence. It's the Jelly Grip Eyeshadow Primer. I actually haven't been doing a ton of eyeshadow primer over the last few months because I normally just do what is it called? Concealer and powder. But again, I know Milk Makeup has something like this. And on Ulta's website, I'm going to put it under my eyes too, because I'm kind of curious to know if this will lock my concealer into place well. On the Ulta website, it does say that it works really well with both creams and powders. I tried the Milk Makeup one years ago, but I didn't like it because it was super sticky. So I felt like my foundation did not blend well on top of it. This one does have like a little bit of a sticky texture, which is why I'm kind of curious to know how it performs like under the eyes with concealer. But I'm going to probably go in with a little bit of concealer on my eyelids because as you can tell, they're kind of red anyway. They tend to be just this time of the year. Okay, let's kind of breeze through the foundation so I can get to everything else. I'm just going to use a tried and true staple, the Catrice True Skin. And, oh, I'm almost out of this one. I'm kind of mixing two shades right now. So I'm mainly wearing neutral sand, but then I've been mixing in like a tiny bit of cool nude because neutral sand is just slightly too dark for me right now. Whenever I'm testing a lot of new products, like new primers, new powders, which I do have a new powder to test out as well, even just like new cheek products, I like to make sure I'm using a tried and true foundation I know performs well. And if you've been around for a while, this has been my favorite since, when did it come out? I think it was like 2019, maybe 2020. I just looked it up. It says late 2020, early 2021. So this one has been a favorite for such a long time. And some of you who live in Europe told me that it's been discontinued over there. So I feel like that could potentially be the case for us here in the US as well, but it's still currently available. Thankfully, at this point, I do have other formulas I really love. Whereas like back in the day, this used to be like my, not, I guess not my only favorite, but like 9 times out of 10, I'd be reaching for this one. Oh, not good. I just clicked on the Catrice website and it is currently on sale for $7. I don't even think they're having like a site-wide sale. I feel like that is a sign that they are slowly phasing it out. So I probably need to stock up on this. I'm just going to throw on some cream bronzer. This is from Revolution Beauty. It's their Ultra Cream Bronzer, specifically in the shade Light. And then I will do concealer, and I have a new cream blush to test out. Actually, a palette from Catrice that looks so beautiful. By the way, what is your favorite drugstore cream bronzer right now? Like, I love this one. I've been using it for years, but I don't know. There's something about the winter where I feel like maybe it's just a little bit too warm, too orangey. I would kind of love something just slightly cooler. And this is just my favorite formula because it just blends out so easily. But I kind of want something slightly cooler for the winter because sometimes I apply this and I'm like, I'm not as into like the super warm tone. So anyway, I just throw it on kind of, in a sloppy way because then I go in with concealer. I just picked this up again because I ran out of mine. The Catrice True Skin Concealer, specifically in the shade Cool Cashmere. I don't know if this concealer is also on its way out because again, it's such a favorite of mine. I can't even count how many times I've repurchased this and it's so affordable. So I hope they don't discontinue it. But anyway, let me just blend this out really quickly and then I will go in with blush. I'll make sure to list all of the brushes I'm using in the description box. This is the BK Beauty 109. This has actually been my favorite for both concealer and cream blush, but I love it for concealer because it blends everything out in 2 seconds. If you're in a hurry, this is great. And honestly, like the shape of it just kind of fits everywhere. Did you guys see that Hilary Duff is back with new music? I was so excited. I'm sure if we are around the same age, well, maybe not. Maybe you didn't like Hilary Duff back in the day, but I just feel like she's so universally loved. Like Lizzie McGuire was my favorite show of all time. And I'm still bitter about the fact that the reboot did not go through. Okay, like I said, Catrice came out with a new blush palette. This is $8. If you are looking for a drugstore brand that still keeps their prices affordable, Catrice is the way to go. I think most of their products are under $10, if not all of them. And honestly, the quality of their products is just so good. So this actually comes with 6 different products in here. You get 4 blushes, one product they call like a blush lighter, and then an actual highlighter. Let me swatch them for you. Okay, so these definitely vary in terms of pigment levels. Some of them are very vibrant like these two, and then the rest of them are pretty sheer. And then here's like the actual highlighter. Oh, that looks pretty. I can't wait to apply that. So online they're saying it is like an innovative balm to powder type texture, which it does feel like that. I definitely noticed that when I swatched it. Like they have that very creamy, very balmy like texture, but then once they dry, they do look more like not like a powder blush, but they kind of don't have like that super sheeny quality other than the highlighter, which looks really interesting. But because it is a palette, you're meant to kind of mix and match, which I probably will end up doing. Okay, let me start with this light shade first. Okay, on the cheeks, well, obviously on my skin tone, it does look a little bit more intense than when I swatched it. I'm going in with this one. Oh, okay. I can already tell it. I might have some difficulty keeping them separated because there's not like a ton of space between the pans. This isn't even like a super large brush, but if you're a mixer, you might not care about that. Okay, that color, really pretty. Initially, I was like, should I go in with one of the more vibrant shades? But let's start light. And okay, yeah. Definitely more intense on the cheeks than it is swatched on the hand. Good to know. I mean, the description says start with a little bit because they are pretty impactful. I just didn't believe that because of what they looked like when I swatched them. Obviously, that's not like fully blended out, but that's pretty. And again, as someone who deals with a lot of texture on my skin, that's not really highlighting a ton of texture. You can tend to see it more on this side, but really pretty. Has like a nice, glow to it without being too intense. Honestly, I kind of want to go in with the highlighter, like just directly on top to, oh, pretty, to add more of that glow. Now I still have to go in with powders, so that will tone everything down, but I'm just curious to see what that highlighter looks like. Wow. If you like a glowy blush, obviously you could go in with that highlighter right on top and kind of create your own customized look. Let me just take my foundation brush and kind of go over the edges to tone it down just a little bit, make sure it's a little bit more seamless, but that is pretty. I'm curious to know how it will actually last on the skin because again, it has that balm-like texture to it. Normally, I'm not that big into cheek palettes. I just don't always find it necessary. Let's go in with a little bit of a deeper shade just because I'm testing out the palette, this one right here. But I feel like they could be fun if you want to create kind of like a custom look. That is much more vibrant. I honestly like barely tapped my brush in there. So good to know. I mean, again, $8, that is such an affordable price, especially if you like the idea of kind of playing with your shades, getting something kind of custom. That's really pretty. I'm just going to take a little bit on my nose to kind of create a nice seamless effect and then blend out the edges a little bit more. But wow, I'm impressed by this. Okay, I just have to say, I applied that Catrice concealer a little while ago, and it is not even creasing on me. Like, not even, my eyelids aren't even creasing. So I think it's due to this Essence primer, which is wild because normally if I go in with foundation or concealer, like on my eyelids, it doesn't even matter what it is. You'll see like intense creasing until I set it. But I think this is making a difference. I honestly don't see it settling into my fine lines like it normally does. Not that that Catrice concealer is like, it doesn't tend to crease super badly, but any concealer will crease if you have fine lines. And I've been sitting here talking, applying other products, and I feel like there is very minimal creasing. So that's a good sign for this primer. Okay, so to set my makeup, I have this new product from Catrice. It's their Soft Blur Matte Setting Powder. So I do have translucent. I also have light. I think I don't know what to use. I think I'll do translucent, at least under the eyes, and see how that looks. So this product retails for $9. It's supposed to be an ultra weightless smoothing powder that of course locks things into place, gives you a nice smooth finish. Actually, the 5 shades does not include the brightening shades as well. And I don't know if that's technically a different product, but they also have a brightening one. I think there's like a pink one, a peachy one. Okay, that looks really, really good. Very smooth. I'm impressed by this. I think Catrice is like becoming one of my all-time favorite makeup brands. Honestly, I just feel like they truly launch what I would consider to be like luxury quality makeup, but at some of the most affordable prices at the drugstore. Now, Catrice is not sold in the drugstores here in the US. I typically purchase directly from the Catrice website or from Amazon, but they are sold in drugstores in other countries. They used to be at Ulta back in the day, if you didn't know that. And then I don't know what happened. They're not available there any longer. Maybe they'll make a comeback. Okay, I honestly applied a very small amount of powder, but wow, my skin looks smooth. So it's just honestly in like the very center of my face. I didn't apply it to the outer portion yet. I am going to take a fluffy brush. Okay, a little bit of this powder, I feel like I need to swirl it like on the back of my hand because a little bit of this powder seems to go a long way. Like you don't need a lot of it. It definitely gives a nice smooth effect. I feel like it mattified my skin well, but it doesn't look heavy. I just don't want to over apply it. It doesn't look cakey. Looks really, really good. I'm definitely happy with how everything is looking so far. I might go in with a little bit more cream blush right on top, just because inevitably when you apply powder, it kind of tones down that glow. And I was really enjoying like that super glowy finish. But let me do the eyes first. Actually, let me do the brows. I think I'll just kind of skip over this just because I do the same thing every time. So the NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel really quickly, let it dry. Then I'll go in with a Lift and Snatch Brow Tint pen from NYX. And then once I've defined them a little bit, I'll take the NYX Micro Brow Pencil just to define like underneath the brow. For eyeshadow, I do want to use one of the new Catrice Drunken Diamond eyeshadow sticks. I did talk about these in a recent dupes video. They are like the same exact quality, the same, everything is the same as the new Tower 28 eyeshadow sticks, but they're $7. So I think they're like a third of the price of the Tower 28 ones. And I'm pretty sure they come with like the exact same amount of product. The only downside is that Catrice only has 3 shades. The 3 shades they have are really pretty. Today I want to use Lavender Jelly Haze. This has been my favorite. So typically what I do is I either apply a liquid shadow or a cream shadow for the crease, but today I want to do a powder just because I want to see how this applies on top of the eyeshadow primer because again, that seems like it could be really promising. This is a palette from Morphe. It's their Rich Glitch palette and I'm going to use this shade right here, Taupe Tier. We're going to keep it very simple today. I'm just going to blend this shade into the crease and just go in with a light layer like up as a transition color and then take a little bit more to define the crease lightly before I go in with the Catrice shadow. I love this Morphe palette so much. If you are looking for a gift for someone who's into eyeshadow, this would make such a great gift. They do have a couple of different color stories and I have 2, right? Yeah, I have 2 of them, but I don't use the other one quite as much as this because this is such a good cool toned palette. Cool toned palettes are still lacking in the market. I feel like brands have come out with them a little bit more, but if you like the idea of a cool toned palette that has a mix of like really dramatic shades, a couple more subtle shades, this is great and everything blends out really well. Just going to take a little bit of this lightest shade right here to kind of smooth over the edge. This has like a little bit of a sheen to it. It's nothing too intense, but I think it's really pretty on the eyes. Okay, that's basically it for the eyeshadow. Let me just do the same thing on the other eye. So like I said, for the lid, I'm just going to take this Catrice shadow. These do come with like a little plastic piece on top. I would recommend keeping that just because the texture of this product feel oh, it's so pretty. I love this purple shade so much, but the texture of this product feels like it could potentially dry out quickly. You have like the one potential con again of this product, other than there only being a few shades, is that it dries down super quickly. So I was just going to say you only have like a few seconds to work with it. So I like to just kind of blend it in, kind of tap it up into the crease so it doesn't look too harsh. But I'm telling you, once this thing dries down, it does not move. Like it is so incredibly long lasting, but so lightweight. It doesn't feel sticky or thick or uncomfortable on the eyes. And it's so pretty. Like look at the intensity you get. It's just so nice. I'm just going to take my brush. There's no extra product on here, but I'm just going to kind of blend the edge again. But I love it. So pretty. I've been opting for like this product over a single shadow lately just because, again, there's no fallout. It's amazing. And you can go in with a light amount and just like lightly tap it if you don't want anything too intense, but you can also build it up. So now at this point, like it's dried down, I will sometimes take like a little bit on my finger and just like go over the center again, especially if I'm like blending powder shadow on top, just to kind of intensify it. And you can layer it very easily if you want to, which is nice. I just curled my lashes and then used the LA Girl Shockwave liner in Blackout to tightline. I have a bunch of new mascaras to try out and I'm not sure which one to go with. So Essence launched these new Lash Princess mascaras. It's their False Lash Effect mascara, but it comes in two new shades, purple and burgundy. I feel like purple would go so perfectly with this look. I'm tempted to go with that one, but I really want to try out these tubing mascaras. So CoverGirl has a new one. This is the Eye Enhancer Wrap Tubing Mascara. If you've tried a tubing mascara, they do typically last really well, but not all tubing mascaras are made the same. Like some of them are not as dramatic as I would like. Some are kind of hard to build. So I'm curious to try this. Like every drugstore brand is launching a tubing mascara these days. So you definitely have your pick as far as like budget and brand. Catrice also launched one. The CoverGirl one, I believe, is $11.99. Let's just double check. $12.99, so a little bit more expensive. And again, you might be able to find this for a lower price at like Walmart or Amazon. Catrice launched one that's $7, so less expensive. This is the Tubing Stay in Place Volume Mascara. And again, they all kind of claim the same thing, like smudge proof, budge proof, and then they remove easily at the end of the day with some water. So let's try both of them. Let's do CoverGirl on the right eye. Oh, the wand looks exactly like the Milani tubing mascara, which is actually one of my favorites. I know that one is not like universally loved. It's such a, this is already going on so nicely. The Milani one is such a wet formula that I feel like it performs best after it's dried out for like months, but I really try not to have my mascara for months on end. And I don't always love the Milani one on its own. A lot of the time I'll use it like on top of any other mascara to add some extra added length and to also like lock my mascaras in place. So it works really well as like a topper mascara, but this one has like a very similar one, but the formula doesn't feel as wet. So it's going on a lot better. Okay, this looks really good. I will clean up my eyes because I always make a mess when I apply mascara, but it did a great job of separating them and then adding a lot of length. I'm going to let it dry for like a second and then I'll go in with a little bit more on like the ends of my lashes, but I don't like to layer tubing mascaras up too much because I feel like they don't always layer well and then my lashes can start to get like a little clumpy, a little tangly. So let's just hit like the ends with this one more time. This one is Catrice, this one is CoverGirl. So you can see what they, doesn't want to focus. There we go. So you can see what they look like. So Catrice has a little bit more of a curl to it. And let's give it a shot. Okay, I can already tell, like this is a lighter formula. Very, very lightweight, not quite as heavy or as wet as CoverGirl, which is interesting because the CoverGirl one is not as heavy or wet as Milani. This doesn't feel like a typical tubing mascara. It's going on nicely. Like it's definitely lifting my lashes already. It's almost enhancing the curl that I had going on. And I think I'm going to be able to build this one a little bit more. I can't, like when I do my left eye, it blocks the microphone. So just give me a second. Okay, so here's what the mascaras look like on the eyes. So on the right, I have the CoverGirl, and then on the left is Catrice. Which one do you think looks better? Do you see a difference? Do you think one looks better than the other? Let me know. I, of course, will keep you posted on how they wear and then how easy the removal is at the end of the night, because for me, that is like a big benefit of a tubing mascara. The formulas definitely feel different. I think the Catrice one looks a little bit more natural. It definitely feels lighter weight, so I think it did a better job of lifting the lashes, and I kind of feel like the CoverGirl one has fallen a little bit. So if lifted, like curled lashes is a big priority for you, I'd probably go with Catrice just based on that alone. If you want a little bit more drama or you like to be able to build your mascara up more, I think CoverGirl is the winner in that category. But again, I'll keep you posted once I wear these all day long. Check the comments below for that pinned update. Okay, so I just took off that CoverGirl lip balm. I have been filming for almost 2 hours at this point. This video hopefully is not anywhere near that long. I took a couple of breaks to like check my footage, answer some emails, things like that. And honestly, I feel like the color looked really good for being on for almost 2 hours. And I still had like a nice glossy finish. So definitely in my mind, a really good alternative to Summer Fridays if you're looking for one. So I actually got some new lip glosses from NYX. I love NYX for a lot of reasons, but their lip glosses are always just like top tier. They're so good. So they just came out with a new line. These are the Jelly Job glosses. They're $12, so a little bit more expensive than some of their previous lip gloss launches. The NYX This Is Milky line, I think at this point has been like discontinued. That was my favorite. And these look really nice. Like when I saw the swatches online, I was like, those are beautiful. And NYX does a really good job with their swatches. They don't like retouch their photos. You can see them on different skin tones. So I feel like when you're picking a shade, typically like the lip swatches are very accurate. So I went with two. I picked up the shade Jelly Bean. I wanted like a chocolatey one, and then I also grabbed Juicy Jelly. So let me just apply these without anything underneath. Oh, what does this smell like? It has like a sweet, almost vanilla scent. I just checked online. So it has a delicious sweet cherry scent. It's made with cherry oil, a peptide complex. It is supposed to give you like fuller, smoother, shinier looking lips, like pretty much. Oh, this applicator. Is this like a plastic applicator? I think it is. Who used to have one like this? I think it was ColourPop. Back in the day, their ultra glossy lips. I think it was them. Weird. I don't really like this applicator, but maybe because of the formula, they needed something like this. I mean, one nice thing about a plastic applicator is that it's very easy to clean. So if you're applying lip gloss on top of like a lip liner, a lipstick, and then, you want to clean it off before putting it back in the tube, that does make things a lot easier. This looks more subtle on the lips than it does in the tube. And again, I purchased these based on lip swatches, so I kind of knew that, but it's pretty. It definitely has like a nice kind of sheer factor to it. It's glossy. It feels smooth. It's not like the thinnest formula ever. I like a lip gloss that has like a little bit of like a plush texture to it. So it feels good. Really pretty. Okay, here's the shade Jelly Bean on my lips. I just don't love this applicator. I was reading on Ulta's website. They say that it's a new precision spatula applicator, so it's supposed to hug the curve of your lips, and then it's also supposed to deliver lightweight, even coverage. So maybe because of the formula, they thought that would be like the best option. It's just not comfortable, and I also found that because this color, it's just a little bit darker on me, it didn't apply the color that evenly. It almost looks a little bit streaky. I am going to take it off and then put like a lip liner underneath, but the actual formula feels really nice. I'm going to wear it today and see how long it lasts. I don't expect it to be like incredibly long lasting, but I do feel like for like a lightweight shiny gloss, it feels nice. I just, again, not sold on the applicator. There are a lot of beautiful shades. I think there's like 16 different shades. Some have shimmer, some don't. Actually, I think I'm going to go with the pink one. I don't know. I'm just feeling like a little bit of color today. So this is the Milani Keep It Full Plumping Lip Liner in the shade Go All Pout. This is not a brand new launch. I think I reviewed it on my channel. They have a couple of different shades, just like a good lip liner if you want something that's creamy, applies nicely, but also locks down and stays in place really well. I feel like a lot of lip liners claim to be plumping these days, and I don't know that this one makes my lips look visibly bigger, but because of the finish, I do feel like it's great for overlining because it doesn't necessarily look like you full on overlined your lips. It has this really creamy finish. It's very easy to kind of blend in and diffuse the edges. So just a good drugstore lip liner. I'm just going to go back in with that lip gloss in the shade Juicy Jelly. Just add a little bit of color. Those two together actually look really, really good. I don't know. I don't know if I need more blush, but I'm just going to go for it. You know what? Let's actually apply a little bit of the new Catrice Soft Glam Baked Blushes. These are beautiful. And again, I did talk about these in my recent dupes video because they are like a spot on dupe for the Rare Beauty blushes. I'm just trying to decide which shade to go with. Let's go with this one. If you like the idea of like a blush highlighter all in one, these are perfect. So this one is in the shade Midnight Berry. Now, if you don't like something that enhances texture, this is probably not the product to go with because it is basically like a highlighter blush all in one. So it does add such a pretty glow to the skin. And I would recommend using, like, I haven't tried anything like this. I've been looking for alternatives because this is only sold in a set. It's from BK Beauty. It's the Nikki LaRose N20. It's part of her newest collaboration with BK Beauty. Such a good brush. I hope they end up selling it separate. I mean, I like the entire set, but I understand it might not be realistic for everyone to buy a full set of brushes from BK Beauty, which is why I normally recommend them separately. But don't get me wrong, if you've been thinking about this set or you're shopping BK Beauty on Black Friday, because they usually have some really good Black Friday deals, I do recommend it. I just think like a lighter, kind of like airy blush brush rather than something that's more dense like this is perfect for those Catrice blushes. I just need a little bit of bronzer on my neck. I feel like my neck and my face are two different colors. Other than that, I think we're good. I tried a lot of good products today. I try to usually narrow it down to like my top three, my bottom three. Okay, I have to go with this one, the Essence Jelly Grip Refreshing Aloe Spray. I think this is going to be an amazing option to prep your skin in the wintertime, whether you deal with dry skin, flaky skin, red skin, irritated skin. This felt so good when I applied it, but it also left my skin looking very hydrated, really dewy, really beautiful. And it did have like that slight tacky feel. So I think it allows, or it should allow my makeup to last a little bit longer. I also have to go with the powder. I just applied a little bit of this at the end. I have some in the cap, so I don't want to like fully close it, but it's the Catrice Soft Blur Matte Setting Powder. This looks great on the skin, very smoothing. It did give my skin like a nice matte finish, but it's not heavy at all. And it looks so, so pretty. And again, really affordable. For the third one, I think it's going to be the Catrice Blush Palette. This is really beautiful. I love that it's kind of customizable. I mean, for $8, you really can't beat this because you're getting so many blush options in one palette. And then I also think that highlighter shade allows you to kind of transform the other blushes and add like a nice glow to the skin in a really pretty way. So I'm really excited to keep using this. I don't think I really have anything to put in the bottom three this time around. Like I really didn't experience any instant fails, any major fails. The only thing I'm not loving is the applicator for this NYX product, but the actual lip gloss looks beautiful. So I don't think that would be enough for me to like not purchase additional shades. I'll keep you posted because again, I want to use these products multiple times. And as I wear them throughout the day, as I remove them, some of my opinions might change. So again, I'll update you in the comment section below. But thanks for hanging out with me. I really needed to film this video. There's a lot of like stressful things going on. It's been like a rough few months. And sometimes I'm like, I just cannot pull it together enough to like sit down and be on camera and film a video. But I truly love this. Like I've been so lucky to be able to do this for so many years. And the fact that I get to go to a job and like do a job that I love, that's like fun and exciting and just like boosts my mood is something I do not take for granted at all. And honestly, it's because you guys watch my videos. So I don't know how many of you are still here, but thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for being a part of my channel. It honestly means so much to me. And the fact that I, get to do something I love that feels like that's just a mood booster is amazing, and I don't take it for granted. So anyway, I will be here throughout the month of November. Let me know if there's anything you want to see on my channel so I can add it to my list, and I'll be back soon and I'll talk to you then. Bye.